easy come, easy go. This won't break my heart, don't you know? Sometimes high, sometimes low. Easy come, easy go.
Straus Project rolls on. We are at the Loaded Buffalo in Mundelein with Mr. Kip Winger. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for being here. We are at a benefit for Renee Keel. That is Ron Keel's wife. You probably know Ron from many years around the music scene.
Yep. Old high school alumni, rock and roll from the 80s. Great guy. Love him. And his wife, too. So we're here to help her out with her breast cancer. And we're going to do some auctions. And we got Brandon Gibbs and Joel Holkstra and Ron Keel and myself. And it's going to rock.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night, an acoustic night, actually. You have a lot of different interests when it comes to music. You were just nominated for a classical Grammy. What was that like?
Amazing. Very happy to be there and on a list with fantastic composers. And, that's my double life. I hear classical music, and so I took it seriously. And when I got nominated, I was ecstatic because it was a shock. But I'm a perpetual music student, kind of a geeky study all the time kind of guy.
Yeah, I did a little research on you. You started, like most people start, with a family band, right?
Yeah. My two brothers and I and one other guy from the neighborhood had our band for 12 years or so, and then in Colorado, and then I moved to New York and got a gig in Alice Cooper.
Right, a small gig in Alice Cooper where you met Paul Taylor, and the two of you went on to form a band?
Kind of like that, yeah. I had met Reb Beach before I joined Alice, and Reb and I had made some demos. So when I met Paul, I was like, hey, I know this great guitar player, and you're a great keyboard player. And Paul plays guitar great. And Rod Morgenstein came into the fold a little bit later, which we were very lucky to have him.
Yeah, he's a
awesome.
Tremendous drummer.
Incredible.
And then you guys obviously found success in the late 80s, early 90s with your band. But I feel like your musical evolution came after that.
It's interesting. I mean, I've just, like I say, I'm a study all the time kind of guy, and I just try to always never settle on something that I've done before, and keep pushing to learn new things and reach new heights in music. And as Sting said, music will heal the world, man. So it's kind of a cool and privileged thing that I do, and I'm very grateful to do it, and when I want to give my best, and I don't really want to settle for anything that would let anybody down, so.
Sure, that's your drive. That's because it's what you love to do. It's the passion that makes you want to be at your best every night.
Basically that. So, and I enjoy the acoustic thing, and my band's out this year, and all kinds of good things are going on. I'm currently writing a musical with a guy in New York named Damian Gray called Get Jack, and you can go to getjackmusical.com to check that out. And we've been working on that for a year, so that's my next big thing. And onward and upward.
Always something working. Okay, a couple quick questions before we let you go. Thank you so much for the time. Who do you want to work with out of anybody out there, maybe that you've never met, somebody that you would like to work with that you've never worked with before?
That's an interesting question. I've been asked that before, and I never have an answer for it. Because I'm the kind of person that really likes to work alone, collaborations are difficult for me. It's very hard to find a partner where we interface very well, and I've been lucky to have some great collaborators. So if the circumstance was that the collaboration was great, or that I was such a fan of them, I would, Peter Gabriel, Paul McCartney, Kate Bush, somebody along those lines. But in those cases, I'm such a fan, I would be like, can I get your tea?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. We're not worthy. One piece of advice that you wish you had listened to, or maybe that you wish you had heard earlier?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. That's one I've never been asked. Say it again. It just went my mind. My mind went blank.
If you could follow one piece of advice that someone gave you, or something that you wish you were told earlier in your career.
Right. So if you have an instinct to do something, do it now. Because the only time is now. Don't wait to do it.
I like that. That's really good. Okay. Couple more things.
Yeah.
A moment where you were really proud of yourself. It could be something small, like not something big, something small that made you just kind of step back and say, "Wow, that was awesome."
Well, I mean, I have to say the nomination for a Grammy in contemporary classical composition was definitely one of those moments, because I've been talking about this for years and years, and so just rolling up my sleeves and getting it done was a big thing. Even Reb was like, "Wow, you really did it." So that would definitely be one of them. First platinum record, these kind of things, because I was a young kid from Colorado, had no connections whatsoever, and I just believed in myself. So I kept trying to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve, and they weren't necessarily fame and money related. These were things that I had a dream to do: be in a rock band, do cool music with a rock band, and play big arenas like Madison Square Garden. So, and then the classical goals took over very quickly, because that was the kind of music I was hearing very early on, without the ability to understand it, because I was not musically that literate in that world. So I had to go through all of that to get my chops happening. So probably the Grammy, I would say, at this point, because it's so fresh. But I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of those cool moments take place, and I'm very grateful for them.
Well, you should be proud. I mean, you earned that. You worked hard. You studied for it. It wasn't something that you initially knew, but you worked towards it. So, hey, nice job, Kip.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, last thing. Must-have item to take on the road. You don't leave home without blank.
Potato chips.
Yeah, potato chips are my crack, man. One of these days I'll quit, because I've quit every other vice. But that's an absolute go-to. That's it, really. I can leave with I could go under any circumstance, but I got to have my chips.
It's Kip Winger. Don't take his potato chips at the Loaded Buffalo in Mundelein. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.